How did I get into cars? Is it because I had a race car driver in my family? Is it because my mom worked on cars? Or is it just because I found it on my own? The question I've been asked by almost every person ever. This is my story about how I got into cars. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get into cars at a young age. Little Kendall couldn't care less. Little Kendall was playing baseball with her friends and also wanted to be a singer. Which, by the way, I would still love to be a singer in a band. I'm a woman of many aspirations. Freshman year rolls around and I started taking photography. My mom had let me her camera because obviously I needed one, and it was a Canon Rebel T2i. Pretty old, but did the dang job. And something that I remind myself as I have a new camera is the camera's not limiting you, the excuses that you say that you can't are. Fast forward to nearing the end of freshman year, and my brother invites me to a car show, and I'm not really sure why I asked. It was probably because I wanted to spend more time with my brother, because his hobbies have always fascinated me. My brother used to have a retro video game channel, and it was so interesting to me. He definitely passed down the interest to me, and I learned a lot secondhand. I mean, not many people know the first video game to ever exist. He taught me a lot about his hobbies. I mean, I loved going to the Retro Video Game Museum or going to Retropalooza, which is a retro video game convention. And I also obviously loved playing on his Sega Saturn or his N64s. And he had a lot of them. Gosh, I miss those times. Anyways, so where were we? My brother took me to my first car show, which was Cars and Cantina 2023. Unfortunately, their last year of running car shows there because the colony was not very happy about the bikes revving so much. Shocker. You'll never believe what I saw. A Pagani Utopia, an Agera, and a Bugatti Chiron. So I could say maybe the standards were set pretty high for me. Well, not quite, because I didn't really know what these cars were at the time. After seeing everyone and their mother's Mustangs, a variety of JDMs, some supercars, and those hypercars, I asked myself, what would be better than taking photos of these cars? Weeks pass and I take photos of these cars that I find interesting and pretty, but I didn't really edit them. Yeah. The summer rolls in and I find myself scrolling through TikTok, and I come across this video of a guy who crashed. And not just any guy who crashed. Roman Grosjean in F1. The man on fire himself. And boy did I feel the aura through the phone. Something so insane and persevering about a guy walking out of a car that's in flames. So, you know what I did? I started watching Drive to Survive. And before you say it, because I know what you want to say, it's okay that I'm a Drive to Survive fan. I think the stigma around the Drive to Survive fans is a misinterpretation of what the real problem about the Netflix series actually is. Not every girl wants to date Charles Leclerc. The one negative thing I will say about DTS is they sometimes give a false perception about the drivers' personalities and make them look a lot worse than they actually are. Continuing, my dad and I watched a lot of Drive to Survive together, and through that, I started my F1 account in sophomore year. Debrief F1. I posted some trendy F1 content and then started kind of posting my own thing, taking my twists on trends, and then that started helping me gain followers. Hitting that first 1,000 is such an unreal experience. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal to somebody, but it is to the person who is gaining the followers. Keep in mind, I didn't have YouTube or Instagram at this time yet. Eventually, when I went to my first F1 race, I created my first YouTube video. I'll be honest, I got a little bit emotional. It is a really crazy feeling to see these drivers that you've seen on screen on like F1 and Drive to Survive for the first time in real life, in real time. Being in a track for the first time has got to be one of the best feelings ever. And then the following calendar year, I kind of stopped posting for a little while, and then in March I picked back up and finally gained my first 10,000 followers on TikTok. When summer rolled around, I started posting on Instagram, and I will say that it was a little bit out of my comfort zone because I knew that people in real life could find my account, but obviously I did it anyways because I knew what I wanted. But first, I didn't actually post my face. Junior year was about to start, and I started posting car show vlogs when I started going to my car shows alone, because I finally got my license very late, by the way. If you're 16 and you don't have your license yet, I recommend getting it. It is really a game changer. Then I went to my first WEC race spontaneously. I hadn't even known it a week before then, and I will have to say it was probably the best race experience I've ever been to. Better than F1, which is a crazy thing to say. But if you're a race fan who's actually been to a race, you know what I'm talking about. And this made me fall so in love with endurance racing. I went again that year to F1 with my dad, and it was just obviously a great and cool experience. It was very crowded though, which is something that is kind of bothersome to me. And at this time, my Instagram was growing into 20,000 followers and I was posting a little bit more on YouTube. And finally, I landed myself my first job. This job helped me with developing better skills in media, better skills in business. It was the perfect job for me. I ended the year with about 50,000 followers and having so much experience with just being around cars, doing professional content for real clients, and just making so many new friends. In May, I also got to do media for TT World Challenge, which was the first time doing media for a race professionally, and I had so much fun with it. I loved to see what was happening behind the scenes and even got to do parade laps in a Bugatti Chiron for the 10 event, thanks to my friend Aaron. A month rolls by and I hit 80,000 followers on Instagram in 1 year. Insane. And a lot of people were a little bit bitter about that because they're saying that it's just because I was a girl, but I will say I've dedicated so much time to Instagram, and that is why I am able to be where I'm at today. I'd always wanted a 240SX even before I really knew much about cars, which is ironic, right? That dream was kind of a clue that I would be a car girl in the future. In August, my dreams of having JDM would soon come very true, and my dad surprised me with an S2000. And like any rational person would do, I cried a lot. This was a dream come true, and I was so, and still am, beyond grateful. A few weeks ago, I got to go to the WC race again, and I did some media for Iron Dames, as well as TF Sport, and I just walked endlessly around the paddock. And what I just have to say now is, wow. I've done a lot in just a short amount of time. I'm at nearly 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm continuing to grow through TikTok and YouTube, of course, here. And I look back and I realize how lucky I am to be in the place that I am now. Yes, I put in a lot of effort, but not everyone gets all of these amazing opportunities and meets such amazing people that actually want to build you up, which is very key. I didn't have many friends in high school. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this in past tense because I'm still a senior now, but I just found it kind of hard to make friends because I didn't really find common interests, and I'm a very independent person, so I don't really like hanging out with school friends outside of school. But there are always going to be opportunities, you just have to be willing to find them. I did miss a lot of details in this video because I didn't want to make this video super long because I know your attention span is probably fried. This is just a general synopsis of my journey so far, and of course it'll continue and I'll share more with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will respond to every single one. See you next time.